Anybody who is saying this is not a lawsuit, because I just keep seeing this crap pop up in my reaction video to what I'm putting out right now. Please shut up. Shut up. Here's the proof. Stop going off of your fandom. This is in Drake's own lawsuit. It says prayer for relief. Wherefore plaintiff prays for judgment against UMG for each of the causes of action raised herein. Plaintiff respectfully requests a judgment. A judgment basically means he wants the court to dig deep and then give him money for this stuff. That is a lawsuit. Requests a judgment in his favor against UMG for nominal damages, compensatory damages, including general, actual, consequential, and special damages, and the amount to be determined at trial. He's trying to take them to trial so that he can see how much they owe him. That is a lawsuit. Punitive damages, reasonable and necessary attorney fees, reasonable and necessary cost of the suit, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest at the highest lawful rates, declaratory relief stating that these statements published and promoted by UMG and those attributable to UMG as reasonably as foreseeable, republications identified within this complaint individually and collectively were and are false. Basically, y'all know that PDF stuff that Kendrick been telling them, you'll find out more in the lawsuit. Injunctive relief enjoining UMG from making statements about the popularity of the recording, image, or video that it knows to be false based on fake streams or pay for play, and such other and further relief as this court deems just inappropriate. Dated January 15th, 2025. So yeah, bruh, y'all prepare yourselves for this one. It's about to get crazy. If you hear me laugh or stumble across words, it just is what it is. Aubrey Drake Brown versus UMG recordings. It says, a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Sir Lucian Grange, Chief Executive Officer of UMG, March 25th, 2024. In the middle of the night, on May 7, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to the Toronto house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside. The car stopped in front of the residence. Someone yelled, "F Drake," and at least one gunman began to fire. One bullet went through the security gate and hit Drake's front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard who was also one of Drake's friends. While the car drove away, Drake and others in the house summoned help for the security guard and did everything possible to keep him alive. During the nearly 30 minutes it took for the ambulance to arrive, Drake and others labored to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the gunshot wound with towels. Blood was everywhere. Y'all should have drove him to the hospital, but whatever. After the security guard arrived at the hospital, surgeons worked quickly to remove the bullet, stop the bleeding, and save his life. Though it took days for his condition to stabilize, thankfully, the security guard survived. The very next day, May 8, 2024, a different intruder used his bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto house. He managed to dig deep enough to squeeze through and enter Drake's property. Fortunately, Drake's home security guards caught him before he was able to cause any physical harm. Although the trespasser managed to yell racist slurs and threats against Drake before being escorted off the property on May 9, 2024, the very next day, another break-in attempt happened. In the 2 decades leading up to May of 2024, although Drake was constantly in the public eye, nothing remotely like these events had ever happened to him or his family. But these events were not coincidental. They immediately followed and were approximately caused by UMG's actions leading up to and on May 4th, 2024. UMG is the world's largest music company and also the music company that has represented Drake for more than a decade. Yet on May 4th, 2024, UMG approved, published, and launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being we can't say the word just yet, it's too early in the video, and calls for violent retribution against him, even though UMG enriched itself and its shareholders by exploiting Drake's music for years and knew that the salacious allegations against Drake were false. UMG chose corporate greed over the safety and well-being of its artists. In controversy, UMG saw an opportunity, seized it, and continued to fan the flames even after learning of the incitement to violence on May 7th and 8th, along with the unrelenting vitriol towards Drake that has followed. The song in question is Not Like Us The recording, written and performed by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, professionally known as Kendrick Lamar. The recording was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal PDF and to suggest that the public should resort to vigilante justice in response. The recording is defamatory because its lyrics, its album image, the image, and its music video, the video, all advance the false and malicious narrative that Drake is a PDF. The lyrics repeatedly accuse Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including by calling him a certified, but that's okay, and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. The image was designed to reinforce and in fact reinforces that accusation by depicting Drake's actual Toronto house covered in icons that are known to be used by law enforcement as well as public safety applications like Citizen to identify child offenders residents online. The video bolsters the same message, for example, by showing images associated with S trafficking and juxtaposing the game of hopscotch with lyrics accusing Drake of trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. The lawsuit is not about the artist who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize allegations that it understood were not only false, but dangerous. As UMG knows and has known at all relevant times, the recording, image, and videos allegations are unequivocally false. Drake is not a PDF. Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require that he be placed on neighborhood watch. Drake has never engaged in relations with a minor. Drake has never been charged with or convicted of or any criminal acts, even though we saw you on the stage kissing a 17-year-old, acts whatsoever. Notwithstanding its knowledge that the allegations are fabricated, starting in May of 2024, UMG waged an unrelenting campaign to spread the recording, image, and video together, the defamatory material, as widely as possible. UMG did so because it understood that the recordings, inflammatory, and shocking allegations were a gold mine. Spreading the defamatory material served multiple business purposes for UMG. First, the more people who listened to, streamed, watched, and downloaded the defamatory material, the more money UMG and its executives would make. Second, UMG's Interscope Records. Interscope owns Lamar's entire back catalog of recorded music. The leadership of Interscope had every incentive to prove it could maximize Lamar's sales after only recently persuading him to enter into his own direct license for a limited recording commitment of new music. Third, in contrast with Lamar's first direct deal, UMG's contract with Drake was nearing fulfillment, and on information and belief, UMG anticipated that extending Drake's contract would be costly. By devaluing Drake's music and brand, UMG would gain leverage to force Drake to sign a new deal on terms more favorable to UMG. UMG's campaign was successful in recording Cloak's cleverly dangerous lyrics behind a catchy beat and inviting hook. Capitalizing on those attributes, UMG used every tool at its disposal to ensure that the world would hear that Drake like him young. The defamatory material has been played billions of times, and its false central message has gone viral via social media and legacy media channels in dozens of languages, at a minimum hundreds of millions of people spanning the globe. It is not just fans of rap music who now believe that Drake is a certified pedophile. The recording has become ubiquitous. UMG used its promotional resources and exclusive licensing rights to place the recording on numerous nationally televised events, including but not limited to award shows, national political events, and more. I'm crying. But billions of plays and ubiquity were not enough for UMG. Over the course of the last several months, UMG has made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the recording to be performed at one of the most significant and viewed cultural events of the year, the Super Bowl. UMG is legally responsible for the release, publication, and promotion of the defamatory material, including the foreseeable consequences of the same. UMG's business is to possess the exclusive rights to reproduce, to distribute, and to listen licensed music, including over the internet. In other words, it is not only with UMG's explicit approval that the defamatory material could have been released in the first instance and later streamed, shared, performed publicly, and exploited by content creators on TikTok and Instagram. UMG's campaign went well beyond the traditional music company playbook. Indeed, UMG has unleashed every weapon in its arsenal, including on information and belief certain practices are unlawful. In a memorandum to staff reflecting on highlights of 2021, Sir Lucian Graves remarked that it was harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. As, for example, 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. UMG made sure that Not Like Us broke through that noise. For one, UMG took the unprecedented step, contrary to its internal practices, to remove the recordings copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whistling the recording to ensure content creators would publish it broadly on information and belief. UMG and its agents further put a thumb on the scale by covertly offering financial incentives to third parties to deceptively stream the recordings on streaming platforms to play the recording on the radio, and to otherwise promote and endorse the defamatory material, all without ever publicly disclosing the payments. These actions not only spread the further ingrain the defamatory statements in the minds of the public, but deceive consumers and harm Drake economically. Bruh, come on. You serious right now? Predictably, millions of people who listened to the recording or saw the image and video believed the defamatory material to be true. UMG had previously published the Mars song, Euphoria, which was also widely understood to be targeted at Drake, and which stated, "Don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truth about you." As voluminous public commentary confirms, the average listener or viewer has understood the defamatory material to reflect the truth, rather than art or hyperbole. In the words of one commentator, not everybody believes that Drake loves touching children. UMG greed yielded real-world consequences. As described above, it was just 3 days after UMG originally published a recording and image that Drake targeted at his Toronto house by armed intruders in the 2014 equivalent to Pizzagate. The online response was similarly violent and hateful. An avalanche of online hate speech has branded Drake as a sex offender and pedophile, among other epithets. Public commentary has repeated the false claims that Drake is a pedo and a sex abuser on the level of Weinstein, Diddy, and Epstein, who trafficked children. Wow, he took a shot at Diddy? Dang, bro. Wow, that's crazy. I gotta screenshot this while I'm reading. I'm sorry, y'all. An avalanche of online hate speech has branded Drake a sex offender and pedophile, among other epithets. Public commentary has repeated the false claims that Drake is a pedo and a sexual abuser on the level of Weinstein, Diddy, and Epstein, who trafficked children in shipping containers and harbors convicted sex offenders in his Toronto home. In direct response to UMG's publications, social media users called for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to come at this point and Drake to be locked up and behind bars. The mob-like response to the recording continues to unfold on and offline. Recent flyers were plastered all over Toronto with a photo of Drake and a Canadian YouTuber who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for sexual assault, with the words, "Canadian sex predators gotta stick together." So they doing this all in Toronto, but I thought you run the 6. With the palpable physical threat to Drake's safety and the bombardment of online harassment, Drake fears for his safety and security of himself, his family, and his friends. After the attacks on his home, Drake pulled his son out of the elementary school he attended in Toronto due to safety concerns, and once school ended for the summer, Drake arranged for his son and mother to leave Toronto entirely. You got ran out of Toronto by a nigga from Compton. That's crazy. Day to day, Drake continues to take steps to address persistent threats to his security. The violence and vitriol directed at Drake was foreseeable. The recording falsely accuses Drake of one of the most vile behaviors imaginable and explicitly calls for the retaliatory violence and retribution against him. The false pedophile accusation is a devastating, effective method of assassinating someone's character online. When spread virally, the accusation can destroy an individual's reputation and brand in a matter of days, as one expert on conspiracy theories has explained. There's always been a certain amount of salaciousness in these conspiracy theories. And if it involves children, people immediately just lose their mind, even if these children don't exist. If you put out the suggestion there, it grabs a hold in a way that is difficult to dislodge. UMG understands just how dangerous these kinds of false allegations are. Indeed, when it comes to these allegations against UMG and its executives, they have not hesitated to take legal action against their accuser. Just last year, UMG and Sir Grange were accused, in their words, without the slightest factual basis, of aiding and abetting Sean P. Diddy Combs in a criminal sexual acts. Does that say? Yeah, in criminal sexual acts. Moving to dismiss the complaint against them, UMG and Sir Grange argued that the accusations were offensively false allegations of criminal behavior that would be, what the hell? Libious per se? I don't know how to say that word. If contained within a legal firing, Sir Grange called the allegations against him knowingly and maliciously false and defamatory. Sir Grange explained that a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Thus, recognizing that false allegations against him might interfere with his efforts to lead an honorable personal and professional life, Sir Grange promised to pursue those who have made these outrageous allegations against him. In stark contrast, when Drake confronted UMG about its role in promoting allegations of sexual misconduct lacking the slightest factual basis against him, UMG refused to do anything to help. So you basically just went and told them to take the song down. So them rumors was true. Instead, UMG continued to republish and promote the defamatory material even after Drake had unequivocally denied the allegations in public and had communicated that in private to UMG. Drake informed UMG of the tangible harm that the publication and promotion of the recording had caused him, including violence, threats, reputation, and financial damage, and more. Yet UMG still chose money over the safety and well-being of its artists, notwithstanding its public commitment to behaving honorably and with honest and setting the right tone in all that we do. Many months prior to filing this litigation, Drake attempted to address these claims privately with UMG. Drake believed, per Sir Grange, that UMG leadership should be held accountable for the decisions we made and now we conduct ourselves, and UMG purports to care about threatening and abusive behavior. Indeed, UMG's code of conduct notes that harassment can take different forms, such as speech that is threatening or abusive, and declares that violence, threats, and physical intimidation are not tolerated at Universal Music because we all share the responsibility to make health and safety a constant priority. Yet, in response to Drake's concerns, UMG responded that Drake would face humiliation if he brought legal action. Yeah, they knew if you did this, you was going to look stupid. Presuming that the public would be unable to understand UMG's role in exploiting and profiting from the dispute. UMG's posture in the world's largest music company was that it is untouchable. No, Drake, that's not what he said. That's not what was said, you idiot. Whoever assisted doing this is stupid. UMG's response to Drake was especially perverse, given that it is perfectly willing to sue to protect its own interests when it believes that doing so will protect its property. UMG is engaged in the business of acquiring, administering, licensing, exploiting, and otherwise monetizing the music of artists, including Drake, and does not hesitate to file lawsuits when doing so suits its financial interests. The lawsuit is both necessary and appropriate because UMG has repeatedly defamed Drake while exploiting and monetizing his work. With his own record label having waged a campaign against him and refusing to address this as a business matter, Drake has been left with no choice but to seek legal redress against UMG. UMG may spin this complaint as rap beef gone legal, but this lawsuit is not about a war of words between artists. This lawsuit involves no claims against Kendrick Lamar or any other artist. Instead, it's about UMG, the publisher and exclusive right holder to Lamar's music, as well as Drake's, and its malicious decision to publish and promote through covert means false allegations about Drake that UMG knew were false, explosive, inflammatory, and certain to result in both vitriol and substantial harm to Drake's reputation. Notwithstanding a relationship spanning more than a decade, UMG intentionally sought to turn Drake into a pariah and target for harassment or worse. UMG did so because it believes any of these false claims to be true, but instead because it would profit from damaging Drake's reputation. Drake thus brings this action to hold UMG responsible for the actual and foreseeable harm he has suffered and will continue to suffer because of UMG's choice to elevate profits over the well-being of his artists and the music-consuming public. Parties. Plaintiff. Aubrey Drake Graham, aka Drake, is a rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Drake is a citizen of Texas. Oh. So Drake is an American citizen now. Okay. Defendant UMG Recordings is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Music Group, NV, together UMG Music, Universal Music, a public company formed under the laws of the Netherlands. UMG is a Delaware corporation with its headquarters in California, and thus it is a citizen of Delaware and California. UMG is registered to do business in New York and maintains an office in New York. So that's why he brought it. So all these other freaking things that are basically being brought up is just Drake bolstering his relationship with everybody. So Drake's success has been repeatedly celebrated by the music industry. Drake has been nominated for 55 Grammy Awards and has won 5, including most recently in 2023. Drake has also won 42 Billboard Music Awards, and in 2021, Drake accepted Billboard's Artist of the Decade Award. Drake proudly accepted the award with his young son, father, and members of his team by his side, dedicating the award to his son, friends, and lifetime collaborators and peers. Drake's professional entrepreneur endeavors extended beyond music. In 2012, Drake founded the Canadian-based record label OVO Sound, which has signed artists including Party Next Door, Majid Jordan, Smiley, and Naomi Sharon. Drake also uses the brand name OVO, represented by Al, for his clothing brand. Far more than just label merch, the clothing has collaborated with Canadian Goose, Canadian Retailer Roots, Disney, the NCAA, the NFL, and Supreme. So this is just talking about Drake's freaking endeavors and all of this other crap, which we can read this part right here. UMG publishes the defamatory material. On May 4th, 2024, pursuant to its publication and licensing rights, UMG published a recording for streaming on YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Tidal, SoundCloud, AudioMac, Napster, Qobuz, Last.fm, and Deezer, and made the recording available for purchase on Apple Music and Amazon Music. When viewed on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and Deezer, the recording includes the following language exclusive licensed to Interscope Records, which is a division of UMG. Since defendant's initial publication and recording, the recording has been streamed globally more than 990 million times on Spotify. Damn. Alone on this date of this filing, the recording repeatedly accuses Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including pedophilia and or other acts would require registering as a sex offender and being registered as a sex offender. Within the first minute of the recording, identifies Drake's name and states that Lamar has heard Drake has a predilection for underage women, saying, "Say Drake, I heard you like them young." The next line, thinly veiled threat that Drake should be careful that he never ends up in prison, a place where child predators are notoriously the targets of violence. You better never go to cell block 1. The recording continues to say that any woman who falls in love with Drake should be careful to hide their little sister from him. Next, in a perverse reference to Drake's 2021 album Certified Lover Boy, certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wow, fuck them up. Sorry, couldn't say that one. In a play on the dual meaning of a minor, a person under the age of 18, and musical skill, the recording says Drake is trying to strike a chord and is probably a minor. Later in the recording, Drake describes Drake as Malibu's most wanted. The recording continues to say that Drake and the people in the circle need to be served with a subpoena, and because a predator moves in flocks and asserts that Drake's name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. The recording also repeatedly suggests that violence should be used against Drake because he is a pedophile, like a sound of someone being beat up. The recording repeats wop, 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 wop. And then Lamar says, well, fuck him up. Later, the recording threatens that if Drake comes to Oakland, where Lamar grew up, he will not make it out alive. I could have sworn Kendrick Lamar grew up in Compton, but if you're saying that he grew up in Oakland, that's news to me. I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. Drake. He said that because in California, Tupac started his real rap career and is considered someone from Oakland. And then he came down really to Compton, but to LA County and as a whole, and then became greater. So that's why. You fucking idiot. The recordings make clear that justice will be served not through the legal system and or commentary on social media, fuck a caption, but through physical violence, one action, no accident, and I'm hands-on, fuck around and get polished. At the end of the recording, the lyrics threateningly repeat, hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. The recording contains numerous additional statements that imply the existence of evidence to support the allegations against Drake. The recording threatens that Lamar could reveal more secrets about Drake's rabbit hole still deep. I can go further, I promise. And that the public will believe him. The audience not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey, Drake, they're not slow. The recording continues by making reference to several Drake songs, Family Matters and God's Plans, and accused Drake of being a liar and denying all allegations of criminality. The Family Matter and the truth of the matter, it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. The recording also makes a vulgar attack on Drake's brand OVO. What OVO for? The other vaginal option. Pussy. And let me hear you say OV-ho, OV-ho, say OV-ho, OV-ho. Now, further, the recordings refrain that Drake is not like us. The recording alludes that Drake's Jewish heritage, saying that Drake is not a colleague, but a fucking colonizer. With the recording, UMG also published an accompanying image on May 4th, 2024 to YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Tidal, SoundCloud, Audio Mac, Napster, Qobuz, Last FM, and these are the UMPG website and Meta and TikTok. Any person who views, listens, or streams the recording on these platforms can view the image. The image features an aerial view of Drake's Toronto home and includes identifying information regarding the location of the home and is covered in the icons used by law enforcement and public safety applications like Citizen to identify child sex offenders in their residences on public registries. This is just more of the same that's going through here. This boy is insane. So this is all just essentially repeating it and showing that they really watched the hell. Listen, I gotta read this part, bro. The video includes allusions to Drake's OVO brand, which represented by an owl in combination with the lyrics, "Wop, wop, 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 dot fuck him up." The video shows Lamar beating an owl-shaped pinata with a bat. During the scene, a caption appears at the bottom of the video states, disclaimer, no OVOs were harmed during the making of this video. In its conclusion, the video depicts a prolonged shot of a live owl in a cage. The meaning is clear. Drake belongs behind bars. Defendant's initial publication of the video on YouTube has been viewed more than 206 million times as of the date of this filing. As of the date of this filing, UMG's original publications of the video remain available on the aforementioned platforms. On information and belief, each of Sir Grange, Mr. Janik, Mr. Monte Lipman, and Mr. Avery Lipman played a key role in the initial publication of the video, either in directing or approving the publication and or failing to prevent its publication. You mean to tell me you saying they should have said, nah, this is too hard, you got to take it down. And then this is just more of the same thing. UMG published a defamatory material with knowledge of or reckless disregard for its falsity and knowledge that it was reasonably foreseeable to cause Drake harm. So yeah, we're yeah, he's just going more so to show this stuff right here where he's saying UMG, which I kind of understand this part right here. I ain't gonna hold you. I get what he's saying on this bottom part right here. Talk about on June 20th, 2024, UMG posted a carousel of photos and videos to its official Instagram account of Lamar performing the recording at the pop-out concert. During the recording was played 5 times back to back. UMG captioned the post, history was made, fire emoji at Kendrick Lamar and tag Interscope. But here's the problem, Drake, all they did was tell the truth. History was made there, bro. So what the hell's your problem? Anyways, we'll just continue to go on and see. And mind you, this was just posted today. This whole lawsuit was posted today. So here we go right here where it says on his YouTube channel, Interscope curates playlists of recommended music for fans. As of the date of this filing, this video is featured on the label's music playlist. So as you can see right here, the fourth video is Kendrick Lamar on November 8, 2024, following an extensive publicity campaign launched and managed by UMG. The Recording Academy nominated the recording for several Grammy Awards, including top awards for the Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song, and nominated the video for Best Music Video. Following the release, the nominations, Interscope posted a congratulatory message on its Instagram. UMG also posted on Instagram and X bragging about the nomination for Song of the Year. So, bruh. Yeah. On the UMG website, third parties seeking to license songs for audiovisual publications can filter by genre, chart typing songs and themes playlists. UMPG markets the recording as having a winning achievement lyrical theme. Are you fucking serious, bro? Oh my god. You mean to tell me you was watching this whole shit, just using your house, sucking your thumb and rocking back? You had to be. This is insane. UMG curates theme playlists on UMPG's website for marketing purposes. The recording is currently featured on the Winner's Circle playlist with 26 other songs that can be licensed. As a result of its marketing efforts, UMG has repeatedly licensed the recording to be performed publicly and published them on their other platforms. For example, on June 19, 2024, the recording was performed 5 times in a row in Inglewood, California, to a crowd of approximately 16,000 attendees and a live stream over 186,000 viewers on Amazon Prime Video and Twitch. The live stream broke Amazon's music streaming record for the most minutes watched of any Amazon music production ever across Prime Video and Twitch. So you're going to accuse Amazon too? In the 3 days following the concert, Kendrick Lamar received nearly 61 million combined official on-demand U.S. streams. The recording represented approximately 21 million of those combined streams, a 62% increase from the day 3 period preceding the concert. This republication on June 19, 2021, and its subsequent republication on streaming platforms reached more than 21 million people and could not have occurred without UMG's explicit permission. Allowing them to do it is not this... Man. UMG caused third parties to fake streams. UMG directly through its agents conspired with and paid current unknown parties to use bots. What do you mean currently unknown parties? So you don't even, man. Drake, you do realize you have to show this shit. They don't have to show you anything. Even if this is true, let's say all of it is true, Drake has to show this in order to get the records, in order to do that. So, yeah, UMG directly or through its agents conspired with and paid current unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of the recordings on Spotify. Bots are software programs designed to mimic human behavior to appear to be real social media accounts. One individual whose identity is unknown, the plaintiff revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Kendrick Lamar Interscope paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the initial days following the recording's release, with the goal of jumpstarting its spread and turning into a crazy hit on the platform. UMG's desire to jumpstart the recording's popularity is unsurprising because streams beget more streams. Songs identified as top streams land on most popular lists and playlists, which leads to more streams and therefore more licensing requests, more purchases, more partnerships, and ultimately more money for UMG. The whistleblower describes Spotify as the easiest platform to bot because it does not, like other streaming platforms, have certain security measures when it comes to the bot protection. The whistleblower further revealed that on May 6, 2024, an individual affiliated with Interscope sent him a payment of $2,500 via the digital payment platform Zelle, and that he was promised another $2,500 and a percentage of recording total sales for the initial push. Fake streams are a well-known problem across the music industry in 2023. The Financial Times reported that experts estimated that as much as 10% of all music streams are fake or derived from bots and streaming farms where devices run services like Spotify and other streaming platforms on loop. Universal Music, Spotify, and Apple Music, among others, participated in the study at the request of the French Parliament, which found that between 1 billion and 3 billion fake streams took place on a popular music platform in 2021. Publicly, Spotify has stated that it is aware of the issue of bots on its platform and is actively working to address it in response to Drake's proliferating Pre-litigation filing in New York State, Spotify explained that it invests heavily in automated and manual reviews to prevent, detect, and mitigate the impact of artificial streaming on its platform. So, Drake, you are an idiot. God damn, bro. Like, this is stupid. So they basically said, we've been working on a problem since 2021. Mind you, if that's the case, it's been helping you. And you just talked about the idiot who popped up on on academics platform, but what you fail to realize is paying $5,000 for 30 million fake streams. Don't you think everybody would do that? That is the cheapest of cheapest ways. Never mind, whatever. Drake also received information that UMG engaged in a classic pay-for-play scheme by paying to increase the airplay of recording on radio, including radio stations in New York. Specifically, Drake has received information that at least one member of UMG's radio promotion team made payments to an independent radio promoter who agreed to transfer those payments to radio stations and/or radio station employees in exchange for those radio stations playing and recording on information. In its belief, the practice was more widespread than one member of UMG radio promotion team. This pay-for-play practice, known as Payola, is prohibited by the Communications Act of 1934 and has been the subject of regulatory scrutiny by a number of executive agencies. In 2006, UMG agreed to pay $12 million in a settlement with the New York Attorney General following an investigation involving accusations that UMG executives had used a broad array of pay-for-play tactics to secure radio airplay for music. In connection with UMG's settlement, the then New York Attorney General explained, consumers have a right not to be misled about the way in which the music they hear on the radio is selected. He continued, pay-for-play makes a mockery of claims that only the best and most popular music is broadcast separately. In 2005, UMG was sued by two radio promotion companies alleging fraudulent pay-for-play practices. It remains an open secret within the music industry that power players like UMG are continuing to engage in payola. In November 2024, New York radio DJ Funkmaster Flex released an alleged price list for payola on radio stations: $350,000 for pop radio, $250,000 for urban radio, $100,000 for a mix show, and $3,000 to $5,000 per song for local DJs. Other whistleblowers in the music industry have similarly confirmed that the use of widespread payola, with some claiming to have proof. On information and belief, UMG also provided financial incentives to streaming platforms to promote the recording. On information and belief, UMG charged Spotify lower than usual licensing rates for the recording in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the recording to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. Third parties have documented strange recommendations and searches on Spotify. On July 3rd, 2024, a user posted a video on X of a man typing Eminem in a Spotify search engine, and the recording appeared to suggest their search result. The user captioned the post, "It doesn't matter what you search on Spotify. You'll see Not Like Us pop up." Spotify picked their side and their algorithms as proof. Other users described similar experiences. Recommended songs, search results, and promoted playlists play a role in determining which music users will be exposed and ultimately consumed. An article discussing the harms of payola on music consumers described by including songs, suggesting playlists. We're going to skip past that. I wanted to see if we could figure out, oh, here we go, right here. Yeah, the effect of whistling the recording was massive and immediate, able to play the recording in full in their own videos. So yeah, we'll kind of go into this right here. The effect of whistling the recording was massive and immediately able to play the recording in full in their own videos and profit from them. Content creators rushed to republish the recording and reaction videos, as just a few examples. The Cartier family, whose YouTube channel has 1.4 million subscribers, posted a video depicting the image used in the recording. As of date this following, this video has 2 million views. Shout out to the Cartier family. That's dope. YouTuber Zaz posted a 15-minute video of his reaction to the recording on his YouTube channel, which has 4.9 million subscribers. As of the date of this following, this video has 6.6 million views. Shout out to them. On May 5th, 2024, Twitch streamer RDC Gaming posted his reaction by depicting an image and using a recording. As of this date of this following, this has over 4.5 million views. Man, shout out. That's dope as hell. RDC Live, shout out. Twitch streamer Kai Cenat posted a 20-minute video of this reaction to the recording on his YouTube channel, which has 11.6 million subscribers. The video's thumbnail depicts the image as of the date it is filing, has over 9 million views. That's dope. The content, these content creators could not have legally republished the defamatory material in full or profited from their reaction without UMG's first whistling of the recording. On information and belief, UMG also paid influence on Instagram and X to post content about the defamatory material for the purpose of spreading the content to larger audiences. UMG's media campaign successfully spreads the material to billions. UMG's campaign to spread the defamatory materials published on May 4, 2024. The recording set a new record for the single most day streams for a rap song in the U.S. 13 million in 24 hours within the first week. The recording debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 list with 70 million official streams and 5 million radio airplay audience impressions. Just 1 week later, the recording broke the record for the most streamed song in a 7-day period, 96 million streams. After UMG published a video, the recording returned in the number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. In a week of the video's publication, the recording was streamed an additional 53.8 million times and played on the radio an additional 40 million times. And from July 4th to August 8th, 2024, the video ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music video. So you gonna go after YouTube, Drake? Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up because it's really nothing else to be said. They're just basically talking about how UMG basically was bolstering up everything. So really, in all candor, it's nothing to really say. He's just basically rehashing what he said. Because look right here. This is so stupid. The Cage Owl got me truly believing Ken. Oh, we're gonna talk about. We'll just go this way. UMG caused Drake substantial harm by publishing and promoting the defamatory material. UMG published or took part in publishing statements that asserted or implied that Drake is a sex offender, pedophile, and a sex trafficker and engages in sexual criminal acts that would require him to register as a sex offender. These claims are false and constitute defamation per se. Members of the public believe and repeat the false allegations. Members of the public have taken the allegations in the defamatory material to be statements of fact, even after Drake's public and private denials. On April 30th, 2024, less than a week before the release of the recording, UMG released another song by Kendrick Lamar, Euphoria, that threatened that he won't tell truths about Drake if Drake don't tell no lie about me, and ominously stated that he knows some shit about Drake. To the reasonable listener, any future allegations levied by Lamar against Drake would have been in truth and unsolicited fact, not rumor or opinion. Immediately after the release of the recording and image, people all over the internet began repeating the allegations against Drake, believing them to be statements of fact. Those posts numbered in at least the hundreds of thousands. As one user put, "This isn't a diss, it's the truth. The culture isn't just what the hell? The culture isn't just not fucking with Drake. It's correcting itself by kicking out these predators, Drake, Diddy, etc." Another user wrote that the recordings is telling the truth about Drake being a pedo. Other users echoed the same. Drake has more than 800,000 dislikes on that song because everybody believes he loves touching children because we have evidence everywhere. I love this song. We would have never known Drake is a whole pedophile if this information wasn't exposed. Respect and love you, Kendrick, for keeping it 100. From your tone, anger, and passion behind your words, there is no doubt on my end that Drake is indeed a pedophile. Kendrick just exposed Drake of running with pedos and sex offenders. I don't know. I don't think that Kendrick is dumb to make false accusations. I don't want to assume without proof, but shit ain't looking good for Drake. Like, I feel he's still holding some shit back and ain't saying everything he knows about Drake. Many people reacted to the image, which depicts Drake's Toronto residence, 13 sexual predator icons. One user asked, "Who are the 13 pedophiles at Park Lane Circle?" Eyes wide emoji, demonstrating that they believe the image to be accurately depicting who lived or spent time in the home. Others reacted similarly to UMG's initial publication of the recording and image. YouTube just realized the thumbnail is from the Sexual Predators app. OMG, that is a sex offenders map on Drake's house. Nah, that many pedos in one spot is crazy. Drake canceled. Drake's housing a bunch of pedos at this house, nervous laughing with sweat emoji. Yo, sex offenders have registered. Red means sexual assault against a minor. Drake has 13 of them living in his house. In Drake's pedo mansion, those are markers used to show pedos in that pedos live next to you kids. All right. People all over the internet question why Drake has not been arrested and called for the police, FBI, and Central Intelligence, CIA, as well as Child Protective Services, CPS, to investigate the statements and the recording on comments on UMG's initial publications of the defamatory material the YouTube users recommended. The FBI needs to come in at this point. So all I'm gonna say is this in closing. Drake, you do realize belief in the defamatory material persisted, and Drake's response to, belief in the truth of defamatory material persisted in a direct response to Drake's denial of the claims in the Heart Part 6. The social media reaction described in paragraphs 170 to 178 are just a tiny slice of the public vitriol caused by UMG's defamation of Drake, the spewing of hate against Drake. I'm going to say it this way. Drake better understand. That's hella funny. Users have edited the address that appears on Google Maps and Apple Maps at Drake's Toronto address reads, pedophile lives here and he touches little girls in summer 2024. Users updated the description of Drake's Toronto address and rideshare applications Uber and Lyft. Users have edited the address to read, Drizzy touches kids, Drizzy fun time chamber, and a minor. Drake, this same shit that they're saying or that you're saying about Kendrick, they're going to say about you. That's literally what they're going to say, because you said that Kendrick beat on his wife and all of this shit and that his kids weren't his. You literally said that Drake's kids are not his. So it just is what it is. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this one, man. Subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. Reloaded.